Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, your throat parched like a desert despite the 3 glasses of water you drank before bed. And as you stumble toward the kitchen in the dark, a cold shiver of realization begins to crawl up your spine because this isn't just a normal thirst. It's a relentless, gnawing biological demand that never seems to end. You look at your hands in the dim light of the refrigerator and wonder why that small scratch from 3 weeks ago still hasn't healed. Why your vision occasionally blurs into a hazy fog that makes the world look like a smudged painting, and why, despite eating more than ever, you feel an exhausting, bone-deep fatigue that no amount of sleep can ever truly touch. This is the silent predator, the invisible thief that doesn't arrive with a bang or a sudden fever, but instead creeps into your bloodstream, quietly thickening your life force and systematically dismantling your organs while you go about your daily routine, completely unaware that a ticking time bomb is vibrating inside your cells. We are talking about a condition that millions of people are walking around with right now without even knowing it, a shadowy companion that whispers of future amputations, kidney failure, and a darkness that steals your eyesight before you've even had a chance to say goodbye to the sunset. It is a metabolic prison that traps you in a cycle of monitoring, measuring, and mourning the freedom you once took for granted. Yet the most terrifying part isn't the needles or the restrictions. It's the fact that your body might be screaming for help in a language you've forgotten how to speak, leaving you vulnerable to a collapse that could happen at any moment. You might think you're just getting older, or perhaps you're just stressed, or maybe the constant trips to the bathroom are just a quirk of your anatomy. But what if these aren't just inconveniences? What if these are the final warning shots from a system that is reaching its breaking point? A desperate plea from an internal engine that is drowning in its own fuel. Every single minute you ignore the subtle signs is another minute this ghost-like invader gains ground, tightening its grip on your heart, your nerves, and your very future until there is nowhere left to run. People lose their limbs, their independence, and their lives to this every single day, often saying, "I wish I had known sooner," as they face a reality they can no longer escape. Do you really know what's happening beneath the surface of your skin? Or are you just hoping that the exhaustion and the thirst are all in your head, while your body slowly surrenders to a force that never sleeps? This isn't just a medical diagnosis. It is a life-altering crossroads where one path leads to a managed existence, and the other leads to a catastrophic breakdown of everything you hold dear. And right now, you are standing at the edge of that cliff without even realizing how close your feet are to the crumbling verge. You cannot afford to turn away, because the silent killer doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, or your excuses. It only cares about the sugar coursing through your veins like liquid glass. And by the time you feel the full weight of its impact, it might already be too late to turn back the clock. To truly understand what this disease is, I want you to imagine your body as a magnificent, bustling city that never sleeps, and every single cell in that city, from the ones in your pumping heart to the ones in your thinking brain, needs a constant supply of energy to keep the lights on and the engines running. That energy comes from a simple sugar called glucose, which is the primary fuel your body creates from the food you eat every day. In a healthy system, after you enjoy a meal, that sugar enters your bloodstream, and a vital organ called the pancreas acts like a master logistics manager, releasing a very special hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a delicate, golden key. Its only job is to travel to the doors of your cells, fit into the lock, and turn it so that the sugar can leave the blood and enter the cell to be burned for energy. However, when we talk about diabetes, that beautiful, synchronized process suffers a catastrophic breakdown, and the city begins to go dark because the fuel can no longer reach its destination. In some cases, the pancreas completely loses its ability to manufacture those golden keys, while in other cases, the locks on the cells become rusty and stubborn, refusing to let the insulin work no matter how much is produced. This means that instead of being used as life-giving fuel, the sugar begins to back up and overflow in your bloodstream like water behind a failing dam. Imagine your blood, which should be thin and free-flowing like a clear mountain stream, slowly becoming thick, sticky, and syrupy like molasses. As this heavy, sugary blood travels through your delicate circulatory system, it begins to act like a slow-moving abrasive, irritating and damaging the smooth walls of your arteries and the tiny, fragile vessels in your eyes, kidneys, and nerves. It is a state of internal starvation amidst a sea of plenty, where your body is literally surrounded by energy that it simply cannot touch, leaving you feeling profoundly weak and hollowed out even though your blood is saturated with fuel. This isn't just a simple problem of having high blood sugar numbers on a screen. It is a fundamental metabolic crisis that touches every single corner of your biology, quietly changing the way your body functions on a cellular level. It is like an uninvited guest that moves into your house and slowly begins to dismantle the foundation while you are still trying to live inside it. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward reclaiming your health, because once you see that your body is struggling with a delivery problem, you can begin to appreciate why managing this condition is so vital for your survival. It is about restoring the balance, clearing the logjam in your veins, and ensuring that your body's city lights can stay bright for many years to come. By looking at it through this lens, we can move away from the fear of the name and start focusing on the science of how we can help your body regain its natural rhythm. What is this disease causes symptoms prevention treatment / solutions, soft ending CTA. I hope this explanation helps you visualize what is happening inside and gives you the clarity you need to move forward with confidence. Your body is incredibly resilient, and by understanding the why behind the condition, you're already taking a massive step toward a healthier, more vibrant version of yourself. If you feel like this information could help a friend or a family member who might be struggling in silence, please share this with them and don't forget to subscribe so we can stay connected on this journey toward wellness together. Remember, I am here to walk beside you, and your health is always worth the effort. Would you like me to expand on the next section to help you understand what might be causing this imbalance in your body? When we sit down together to explore why this condition actually takes hold in the body, I want you to understand that it is rarely the result of one single mistake or a solitary moment of bad luck, but rather a deeply personal and complex story written by your genetics, your environment, and the world we live in today. Think of your body as a finely tuned instrument that has been passed down through generations, carrying a unique genetic code that acts like a blueprint for how you process energy. And for many of you, your family history plays a significant and undeniable role in this journey. If your parents or your siblings have struggled with their blood sugar, your body might simply be more sensitive to the pressures of modern life. Almost like having a car with a delicate engine that requires a very specific type of fuel and care to keep it from overheating or breaking down prematurely. In the case of what we call type 1, the cause is actually a mysterious and unfortunate glitch in your body's own defense system, where your immune system, the very thing meant to protect you from dangerous viruses and bacteria, suddenly and mistakenly turns its focus inward and begins to attack the insulin-producing cells in your pancreas as if they were hostile invaders. We are still researching exactly why this happens, but it often seems to be a combination of that genetic vulnerability being triggered by something in the environment, perhaps a common cold or a period of intense stress that pushes the immune system into an overactive and confused state. However, when we look at the much more common type 2, the causes are often tied to a phenomenon called insulin resistance, which is basically your body's way of saying that it has become completely overwhelmed by the demands placed upon it. Imagine your cells as a house where the doorbell is ringing constantly every second of the day. Eventually, the people inside get tired of the noise and they simply stop answering the door. And in this analogy, the doorbell is the insulin and the noise is the constant, heavy stream of sugar from our modern, fast-paced diets. One of the biggest drivers of this resistance is how we carry our weight, particularly around the midsection, because that specific type of belly fat isn't just sitting there quietly. It is actually a very active and aggressive organ that releases inflammatory chemicals that tell your cells to ignore the golden keys trying to unlock them. This struggle is made even more difficult by our sedentary lifestyles, where we spend hours sitting at desks, in cars, or on couches, meaning our muscles, which are the biggest consumers of sugar in the human body, never get the chance to burn off that extra fuel, leaving it to pile up and rot in the bloodstream. We also have to look at the food industry, which has cleverly hidden high amounts of processed sugars and refined flours in almost everything we touch, creating a constant cycle of sugar spikes that eventually exhaust the pancreas until it simply cannot keep up with the demand anymore. Other hidden factors play a role too, such as chronic stress, which keeps your body in a fight or flight mode that naturally dumps more sugar into your blood for energy you aren't actually using, or poor sleep patterns that disrupt the hormones responsible for controlling your appetite. It is a perfect storm of biological predispositions meeting a world that wasn't designed for our physical well-being. But understanding these causes isn't about casting blame on yourself. It's about identifying the levers we can pull to start bringing your body back into a state of beautiful balance. Knowing why this is happening is the very first step toward healing, and it allows us to look at our health with compassion rather than frustration, recognizing that our bodies are simply doing the best they can under immense pressure. I want you to take a deep breath and realize that while you cannot change the genes you were born with, you can absolutely change the environment your genes live in, and that is where your true power and your future hope really lie. If you found this explanation helpful and you want to learn how to spot the early warning signs before they escalate any further, please consider staying with me as we dive deeper into the symptoms you should never ignore. Your journey to wellness is a marathon, not a sprint, and every bit of knowledge you gain today is a brick in the foundation of a healthier tomorrow for you and those you love. Would you like me to walk you through the specific symptoms next so you can learn exactly what your body might be trying to tell you right now? When your body starts to struggle under the hidden weight of high blood sugar, it doesn't usually scream its distress with a sudden fever or a sharp pain. Instead, it begins to whisper through a series of symptoms that are often so subtle and common that most people simply brush them off as signs of getting older, being stressed, or just having a busy week. One of the most classic and persistent signs is an unquenchable, driving thirst that feels like you have been wandering through a dry, dusty desert for days, no matter how many glasses of water you drink or how much you try to hydrate your system. This happens because your blood has become thick and sticky with sugar, and your kidneys, those incredible, hard-working filters in your lower back, are working overtime, desperately trying to flush out that excess glucose through your urine. Naturally, this leads to the next big red flag, which is a frequent and urgent need to use the bathroom, often waking you up multiple times in the middle of the night and making you feel like your entire daily life is suddenly revolving around the location of the nearest restroom. Because your cells are effectively starving for energy, since the sugar is stuck in your blood and cannot get inside to fuel your muscles. You might also experience a ravenous, gnawing hunger that never seems to go away, even right after you have finished a large, hearty meal that should have left you satisfied. This internal energy crisis creates a heavy, bone-deep fatigue that no amount of coffee or extra sleep can truly touch, leaving you feeling completely drained, as if your internal batteries are failing to hold a charge for more than an hour or two. You might notice that your vision starts to become blurry or hazy, almost as if you are looking through a fogged-up window or a smudged lens, which occurs because high sugar levels actually pull fluid from the lenses of your eyes, causing them to swell and change shape in a way that makes it hard to focus on the world around you. Another deeply concerning symptom to watch for is finding that small cuts, scratches, or bruises on your skin are taking weeks or even months to heal. Or perhaps you are noticing more frequent infections in your gums or skin, because that extra sugar in your system is actually feeding harmful bacteria and making it much harder for your immune system to do its protective work. Some people even report a strange, frightening tingling or a pins and needles sensation in their hands and feet, which is a sign that the sugar is starting to irritate and damage the delicate nerve endings farthest from your heart, a condition that can become quite serious if left unchecked. You might even find yourself losing weight rapidly and unexpectedly without even trying, which happens because your body, unable to use sugar for fuel, begins to desperately burn its own fat and muscle just to keep you moving through the day. These symptoms are not just minor inconveniences. They are your body's desperate way of screaming for your help and attention before the internal damage becomes permanent. It is so easy to ignore these signs when they appear one by one, but when you look at them together, they tell a story of a system that is reaching its breaking point and needs you to step in and take action immediately. Understanding these whispers is the most important thing you can do for your future self, because catching this early can make all the difference in the world between a life of restriction and a life of freedom. Please, if any of this sounds familiar to you or someone you love, Don't wait for the symptoms to get worse before you decide to seek clarity and medical advice. Your health is the foundation of everything you do, and you deserve to feel energetic and whole again. So I encourage you to take that first step toward a diagnosis today. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe and share this video with someone who might need this wake-up call as much as you did. Would you like me to expand on the prevention and treatment options next to show you how you can fight back against these symptoms? When we talk about prevention, I want you to realize that you hold an incredible amount of power in your own hands, and it truly starts with the understanding that your body is a resilient, living system that responds beautifully to the right kind of care and attention. Think of prevention not as a heavy list of things you can't do or a collection of strict rules you must follow, but as a way of building a protective fortress around your future self to keep this silent intruder at bay for as long as possible. The most important pillar of this fortress is movement, but I don't want you to think you need to spend hours in a high-priced gym or run grueling marathons to make a real difference in your blood chemistry. Instead, imagine your muscles as a giant, thirsty sponge that, when squeezed through simple activity, naturally soaks up the excess sugar in your blood even without needing much insulin to help. By simply taking a brisk walk after your dinner, gardening in the backyard, or choosing the stairs over the elevator, you are effectively teaching your body how to be efficient and sensitive to its own signals once again. Then we have to look at how we nourish ourselves, moving away from a restrictive diet mindset and toward a philosophy of crowding out the harmful stuff with life-giving, whole foods that make you feel vibrant. Try to fill your plate with things that grew in the earth, vibrant green vegetables, fiber-rich beans, and whole grains that take a long time to digest, because these foods act like a slow-release energy system rather than the explosive sugar spikes caused by white bread, sugary sodas, and heavily processed snacks. When you eat fiber, it creates a gentle, natural barrier in your gut that slows down the absorption of sugar, giving your pancreas the much-needed time it needs to keep up without getting exhausted and worn out. Even a modest amount of weight loss, perhaps just losing 5 to 10 pounds, can have a miraculous effect on your internal chemistry because it removes the stubborn fat that physically blocks your insulin from working, almost like cleaning the rust off a lock so the golden key can finally turn and open the door. We also cannot overlook the role of rest and mental peace in prevention, because when you are chronically stressed or sleep-deprived, your body stays in a high-alert state that keeps your blood sugar elevated as if you were constantly running from a predator in the wild. Taking time to breathe deeply, ensuring you get 7 or 8 hours of quiet sleep, and staying hydrated with plain, refreshing water are the quiet heroes of a healthy metabolism. Prevention is a daily conversation you have with your cells, a series of small, loving choices that add up to a lifetime of freedom and vitality, and it is never too early or too late to start writing a better story for your health. This is your chance to take the steering wheel and navigate away from the cliff, ensuring that your energy stays high and your body stays strong for all the adventures that lie ahead. I want you to remember that every healthy choice you make today is a gift you are giving to the person you will be 10 years from now, and that person will thank you for the courage you showed today. If you are ready to take that next step and learn about the professional tools we use when lifestyle alone needs a little extra help, then stay with me as we explore the world of modern treatment and solutions that can help you regain total control. Your health is the most precious thing you own, and taking these preventative steps is the ultimate act of self-love and wisdom. Please, don't forget to subscribe and join our community so we can continue to support each other in building a life that is full, healthy, and completely free from fear. If you have already moved past the point of prevention and are now facing a diagnosis, I want you to take a very deep breath and know that the world of treatment has transformed into a landscape of incredible hope, advanced technology, and manageable routines that allow you to live a life that is just as full and vibrant as anyone else's. Being treated for this condition is not about being sick or failing at your health. It is about becoming an expert manager of your own unique biology with a professional medical team standing right beside you every step of the way. For some people, treatment means using a tiny, almost painless needle to give your body the insulin it can no longer produce on its own, which is truly a miracle of modern science that allows you to keep your energy stable and your organs safe from the corrosive effects of high sugar. For others, It might involve a simple daily tablet that helps your liver stop overproducing sugar or encourages your kidneys to gently let go of the excess through your urine, helping your body return to its natural state of balance. We now have incredible tools like continuous glucose monitors, which are small, discrete sensors that sit on your arm and tell you exactly how your blood sugar reacts to a piece of fruit, a brisk walk, or even a stressful meeting, taking all the scary guesswork out of your daily routine and giving you back a sense of total control. But the most powerful part of your treatment plan isn't actually found in a pharmacy bottle. It is found in the partnership you build with your doctors and nurses to tailor a lifestyle that actually fits your personal reality and your favorite traditions. This might mean learning how to buffer your favorite family treats with extra protein and healthy fats so they don't cause a dangerous spike, or finding a type of movement that you actually look forward to doing so it doesn't feel like a chore or a punishment. The ultimate goal of any treatment plan is to keep your blood sugar in that perfect sweet spot, where it is high enough to fuel your brain and your heart, but low enough that it doesn't cause silent wear and tear on your delicate eyes, kidneys, and nerves over time. It is about preventing the complications before they ever have a chance to start, ensuring that you can still play with your grandchildren, travel to the places you've always dreamed of, and enjoy your hobbies for many decades to come. There will be some days when the numbers on the screen are frustrating or confusing, and I want you to know that is perfectly okay, because treatment is a long journey of learning and adjustment, not a perfect destination. You are so much more than a lab result or a number on a chart, and with the right combination of modern medicine, intentional movement, and a supportive community, you can live a life so full that this condition becomes just a small, well-managed part of your background rather than the center of your world. Please, never let fear or shame keep you from seeking the help and the tools you deserve, because the sooner we start managing the sugar, the easier the path toward a long and healthy life becomes for you. I want you to remember that your life is a precious gift, and taking these steps to care for your health is the greatest way to honor that gift and stay present for the people who love you most. If you're ready to take back the steering wheel and start your journey toward a balanced life, I encourage you to speak with a professional today and join our community here by subscribing so we can continue to walk this path together. Your future is still bright, and I am so proud of you for taking the time to listen and learn how to protect it. When we look beyond the basic medical treatments, the real solutions for living a long and vibrant life with this condition are found in the small, daily victories that happen right in your own kitchen, your living room, and your mind. I want you to see that managing your health is like being the captain of a ship. While the medicine provides the engine, your lifestyle choices are the compass and the wheel that keep you on course. One of the most powerful solutions available to you is the concept of mindful nourishment, which simply means becoming more aware of how different foods make you feel and how they impact your internal balance. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by complicated diet plans, start by making simple swaps that favor slow-digesting fibers and high-quality proteins, like choosing a bowl of hearty oats over a sugary cereal or adding a large handful of fresh spinach to your lunch. These small adjustments act as a natural buffer, slowing down the entry of sugar into your bloodstream and preventing those exhausting roller coaster spikes and crashes that leave you feeling drained. Another incredible solution is the habit of movement as medicine, where you integrate physical activity into your day in ways that feel like a joy rather than a chore. For example, a 10-minute stroll after each meal is one of the most effective ways to help your muscles naturally clear sugar from your blood, almost like opening a safety valve on a pressure cooker. You don't need expensive equipment or a gym membership. You just need the willingness to move your body in ways that feel good, whether that is dancing to your favorite song, stretching while you watch the evening news, or taking the dog for an extra walk around the block. We also have to address the solution of emotional well-being and stress management, because a calm mind leads to a calmer body. When you take time for deep breathing, meditation, or even just a quiet moment with a cup of herbal tea, you are lowering your stress hormones, which in turn helps your blood sugar stay in a healthier range. The true solution lies in consistency and self-compassion, understanding that there will be days when things don't go perfectly, and that is okay. The goal is progress, not perfection, and by surrounding yourself with a supportive team, including your family, friends, and healthcare professionals, you create a network of care that makes the journey much easier to navigate. You have the power to write a new story for your health starting today, using these practical, everyday solutions to build a future where you are in control, not the disease. As we bring our conversation to a close today, I want you to take a moment to place your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of your own life, a reminder of just how precious and resilient you truly are. It is so easy to feel overwhelmed or even a little bit frightened when we talk about the challenges of health. But I want you to know that you are never walking this path alone, and you have more strength within you than you might realize. Your body has been working hard for you every single second of your life, and now it is simply asking for a little bit of extra help and a little more of your attention. Taking the steps we discussed today, whether it's checking in with a doctor, choosing a healthier meal, or just going for a short walk, is one of the most beautiful ways you can show yourself the love and respect you deserve. I truly believe that by listening to those subtle whispers of your body and responding with kindness and action, you can move toward a future that is bright, energetic, and full of the moments that matter most with the people you love. You have the knowledge now, and knowledge is the spark that lights the way out of the darkness of uncertainty and into the clarity of a healthy life. Please don't let this be just another video you watch. Let it be the start of a new chapter where you prioritize your well-being, because you are worth every bit of the effort it takes to stay healthy. If you found comfort or help in what we shared today, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing this message with someone in your life who might need a gentle reminder that they are strong enough to face their health journey too. Your support helps us reach more people who are searching for answers, and it builds a community where no one has to feel isolated in their struggle. Thank you for trusting me with your time and for being so dedicated to your own self-care, as it is truly an honor to be a part of your journey toward wellness. I'll be right here waiting for you in the next video. So until then, please take deep breaths, keep moving forward, and remember to be gentle with yourself as you take these brave steps toward a longer, happier life. May you find the peace and the health you are looking for, starting right now.